Hi guys, this is Chandra. Today we're going to see how to install Sql Server 2012 on Windows 7. I'm going to show you where to download Sql Server 2012 Express setup files. Google download Sql Server 2012 Express and click onto the first link, and it will take you to this download page, the official Microsoft web page. So I downloaded the first one because my machine is a 64-bit one, so I've downloaded the first one, and I downloaded this one, the 600 MB file. So this one contains the client tools, whereas this one contains the necessary database stuff which is used to install the database engine, which is the core component of the Sql Server 2012. So I have downloaded those two things, so I would urge you guys to download those two things. So this is the first installation, which is this one. So ENU, this Sql Express x64 enu.exe. So I'm going to start that one by hitting Control Shift Enter, so that will run as administrator. So time and again I will be pausing the video because I don't want to spend much time to see the screen where it's extracting or unpacking. So I'm going to allow the setup file to unpack and get back to you guys soon. So I'm going to hit run, so it's going to extract. So as you can see, the extract is going to complete, and we got to wait for Sql Server 2012 setup processes the current operation. So we're going to wait patiently, and we got this installation center screen. So I'm going to choose the first option because I'm going to install a new Sql Server standalone feature. So I'm going to install the core part of the Sql Server, and then, as I told you in my second setup file, which is 600 MB one, I'm going to install the tools, which is SSMS, that is Sql Server Management Studio. So I would like to show you guys how to do that one in this video. So right now it's running certain rules and checking whether my computer is okay with this installation. And then you get this license terms agreement screen. Just click I accept the license terms and click next, and it's checking for updates, so I'm least bothered about those updates. So there are no updates actually, so I'm going to click next, and SQL Server setup files are being installed on the system. So I'm going to pause the video. So right now it's checking the rules. The setup files have been installed on my machine. Right now it's running certain rules, so you can click on show details and you can see whether your system is passing them all the rules. So my system have passed, as you would have noticed, and you'll get the screen. So I would select everything, and you can see what are the things that has been already installed on my machine. So to be installed is Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 shell. So I'm going to click next. So we have selected the features. So now it's going to quickly do a check on the installation rules. So I think we have done that one, so it's going to skip that, and then it comes to this instance configuration. So I'm going to choose named instance. So I'm going to choose this one as Sql 2012. So you can choose default instance where you won't be able to change the instance name because it's going to choose a default one, but you can change your instance ID instead. But I'm going to choose this named instance, which is Sql 2012. Go to tab out. Rest remains the same, so I'm going to click next, and then it has done a disk space requirement, so it just skipped that particular screen, but you would be able to see that one when you are doing the installation. So it just jumps from instance configuration to the server configuration, and these things I'm going to leave it by default because I don't want to muck around with this one. So I'm going to choose this collation. So the collation remains the same because I'm happy with the US English If you're going to choose some of the collation settings, it depends on the language that you're going to work on. So if it's going to be Spanish, you got to choose a proper collation settings for that one. If it's going to be Russian, you got to choose a proper collation settings. So I'm happy with it. I'm going to click next. Now you'll get this database engine configuration. So we're going to configure the database engine, which is the core aspect of SQL, which is the core of SQL Server 2012. So I'm going to choose Windows authentication. You can also choose mixed mode authentication, but you should create an SQL Server account. So SQL account, you'll have a separate username and a password, and you can flip around between Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication. So I'm going to choose this Windows authentication, and it has added my current account as SQL Server administrators group. And if you want to add more users, you can click on this. You can click onto this add button, and then you can do a search on your Active Directory and do a check name, and you can find the particular list of user, and then you can click OK. So those users will become the administrators. So data dictionaries, I'm going to leave it same because it's the physical file location. The user instances, you can choose this option because if each users are allowed to run a separate instance on their own on a single database engine, you can do that one. And you can enable the file stream a feature of SQL Server by going into this tab and checking onto this option. So I'm going back to the server configuration, and I'm going to click next. And I don't want my Windows to send any reports. I'm going to click next. So the installation is going to be in progress, and I'm going to pause the video and get back once this is done. So it's going to complete in another few minutes. So once we have completed the installation, you'll get the report like this. So it has succeeded. So all you got to do is click onto the close button, and now you have to download this particular thing. Right now what I would like to show you guys is we have the database engine, but we haven't installed any tools to access that database engine. So right now if you go to this configuration manager, you would be able to see your instance have been installed and it's running. But let me close this one and I'll show you. Yeah, so you can see your instance SQL 2012 and it is running. So we don't have any tool to access this instance. So all you got to do is you got to download this particular file, and I have that setup file which I have already downloaded. So it is this one. So the benefit of doing it in this way is actually you have a database engine separate on your server, and you don't want a tool to be installed on that one to access that, but instead you can install it onto your desktop machine, and then you can ping onto that particular machine and you can access the data alone. So this is another effective way of doing it. So I'm going to pause the video right now. So you'll get a pop-up, hit run, it's going to extract. So the extract is going to complete in another couple of minutes. So once the extract has completed, you'll get a small pop-up screen like this. Please wait. So now you'll get a screen like this. So you have to select the first one here, the first link. So it's going to do a quick check. You can click onto this show details. It's going to give you the status at the same time. So my system has passed all the necessary conditions. Once it has passed, you'll get a screen like this. So I'm going to uncheck this particular one because I don't need any updates. I'm going to hit next. So it's going to install SQL Server setup files on my system. I'm going to pause this video. So once it has installed all the setup files on my machine, it's going to run another check on my system. You can click on this show details button. You can see the progress. So once the check has completed, it will take you to the installation type. So you don't need to do you don't need to do anything. you can perform a new installation of SQL Server 2012, and you can click next, accept the license terms, click next. Then you got to select the features, so I'm going to select everything, select all, click next. Then you'll be taken to this error reporting screen because it has checked the installation rules and quickly skipped the disk space requirements. So I'm not going to select this one. I don't want my Windows to send reports to Microsoft, so I'm not going to check that one. So it's going to start the installation progress. So I'm going to pause the video right now, and once it has completed, it will take you to the complete screen and you'll get the same report as we saw in the previous install. So let me pause here. 25% of the installation has been completed, 60% completed. So it's going to complete in another few more seconds. Then it takes you to the final screen, the complete screen. So it says succeeded. Hit the close button, and let's wait for a few more minutes for it to complete. Yeah, we are good to go. So you can see the blue links are back again, so which means you can close it. And we're going to hit all programs, and now if you go to SQL Server 2012, you'll have all the tools that you had in 2008. But the SQL Server Management Studio, this was quite a shock to me. So when you click on to the SQL Server Management Studio, so right now it's been powered by Visual Studio, so it's going to open Visual Studio 2010, and that's going to be your SQL Server Management Studio. So no more the old Management Studio we have. So I liked it personally, so it's going to open Microsoft Visual Studio 2010, in which you can connect to your database engine and to your database instances, and then you can start writing your SQL T-SQL queries in Visual Studio 2010, which is in other words the SQL Server Management Studio, which has been powered by Visual Studio. So as you can see, you can see this. You get the same interface, in other words. So you have to first connect to the server. So I know this is my instance name, and don't forget to place this period slash and then hit connect button, and you will get connected to the SQL 2012 instance, and you can see that one soon in another few minutes getting populated in Object Explorer. So you get this pretty much the same hierarchy as you see it in the old SSMS. So you can expand the database. Obviously it's going to be a little bit slow during your first time, and then it gets cached into your RAM, and then you can feel it's going to be really fast. So I'm going to open new query. The moment you hit a new query script icon, you'll get this pop-up and just hit connect. The beauty of doing it in Visual Studio is what I was actually missing in the old SSMS is the IntelliSense feature, and that one is really superb in Visual Studio. So I'm going to hit use master and hit F5. So I'm going to use the master database, and then I'm going to do a select star from sys dot all. So I don't know why the IntelliSense is not working. Sys dot all underscore. We can do a control space. Probably that should work. I don't know why it is not working, but it was working for me in my previous install. So you get this beautiful IntelliSense. Actually, believe me, you'll get that one. So select star from sys dot. I wonder why it's not working. So so you get the IntelliSense, and that's the beautiful thing about this Visual Studio integration with SSMS. So I hope you guys would have enjoyed this video and would have been really informative. So we did two installation. One was the SQL Server client components, which is the SSMS and SQL CMD and all those stuff, and the first one was the database engine. So I hope you guys would have enjoyed this video and have a great time. Bye.